Hello. Hello. Hey, hi everyone. Hi Rama. Hi Nishal. And so let's get started, right? So just give me a moment. We just open that up. Hey, hi Radhika. Hi Karan. Yep. So before I just start, any question you would like to ask? Anything that you feel you want to ask on Power BI? And you share that image, right, of your report. There you go. Okay. Okay. So here we are. So let me just share my screen. Okay. So I think in the previous session that we were having, so we were talking in the context of that how do you do that? What are the different data transformation capabilities that we have in the Power BI, right? So this is where we were exploring and we saw a lot of options inside it, and we had did a lot of transformations, right? And we did the append queries and the merge queries is something that we had already done. So are you all sorted on that different data transformation options that we have? Anything you would like to ask on that over there? Is everyone? Okay. See, now the next thing that we will be starting over here is, see what happens is like when you work with multiple data sets, right? When you work with multiple data sets in, the Power BI, so it might happen that you will require some relationships to be created among the different tables, right? So when I say relationships, so let me tell you what are they. So what I'll be doing right now is you can all please open up a fresh new Power BI file. Okay, all of you please open fresh those Power BI file. Okay. In order to talk about that relationships, let me just also share the data pipelines. So there's a file that I'm just sending it to you. All would be receiving it over the chat. It's around 20 MBs of file. And let me also open that out. Okay. So did you all receive that file? Right. So this file that I have shared with you, this Excel file, this has multiple sheets: customer, product, subcategory, product category, geography, currency, and fact internet. So everyone, please spend 2 minutes on this data and let me know, do you find any relationships or something in this different sheets that you have? So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sheets. So can you identify something, some relationships or some sort of stuff in these files over here? So please let me know. Just spend 2 minutes on this. Yep. Everyone, are you able to explore this?
There's a relationship between geography key in the first sheet, that is customer. There is a geography key. In the fifth sheet, geography, there's also geography key. And with the name of the cities and the date of the cities.
Okay. So first you are saying geography and customer table, right?
Yes.
But geography and customer table, how are they connected?
So in customer table, there's geography key, which is
Okay.
all the
Right.
information about that geography we can get from the geography sheet.
Correct.
Customer product and product is related to fact information.
Customer and
Customer product
product. How we have in the product, we have the product keys over here, like what products they were purchasing. But in customer table, how do we find that?
customer is related to fact.
See, like what I tell you is now this is the concept of basically the concept of data warehouses. So like we learn databases, right? We also have data warehouses where when the data is really huge. So all that data is stored in a warehouse kind of a structure. In the warehouse, what happens is we have a concept of in the warehouse we have a concept of the dimension and fact table. So what is a dimension table? So now dimension table is a table. This is a table. Here we have the data. Here we have the data of here we have the categorical data, I will say. Okay, here we have the categorical data. And fact table is something. In this, what we have is here we keep the numerical data. Okay, that is how we have the data that we keep inside this the warehouse that we have. So like when I say categorical data, right, and dimension table, so if you will see customer, product, subcategory, product category, geography, these are all the dimension tables. If you will see, right, if you will see in the customer table, you have customer key, geography key, like from which location does he belong, right? There's the title, the name of that customer, birth date, marital status, children, right? Number of children at home. So that is the kind of information you have, but you don't have any numerical data in the terms of revenues, sales, profits, or something like that, right? All that information regarding the customers. If you come in the product table, all the information related to the, all the information related to the products, like what are the different products that they are selling, right? What is the product ID, what is the alternate key, what is the product subcategory, weight of the product, right? What do you call the product in English, Spanish, French, list price of that, right? All the information related to the products is given to you over here in this. Then if you come into the subcategory table, over here you will find that you have the information related to the subcategories, right? Like for each product subcategory, what is their ID and what is the product category that to which they belong, right? Then you have product category over here, right? You have geography, you have currency, right? Like for each currency key, what is the name of that currency and what is the ID of that currency. Making sense? Like in that, you just have information related to that complete name of the table. When you come in the fact table, this is where you will find the numerical data. So you see, this is the product key. This was the, this product was ordered on this particular date. Then you will find the customer key. It was ordered by this customer. Then you will find in this currency it was ordered, the currency key, right? Then you will also find the information related to the unit price. What was the unit price of that? How much quantity did he order, right? What was the amount that he was paying? What was the product standard cost? What was the total product cost? What was the sales amount? What was the text amount, freight charges? So you see here you have all that numerical data with you, right? Are you able to understand this data now?
Yeah, I have one question. So when you're saying unit price and extended price, You've also given a currency key. That means different currencies are there in which orders have been made.
Correct, correct.
So that means conversion of all of them will be different. And that amount to a different sales value.
So basically what we do is, so if you see over it, it's more like it is given to us that in which currency that payment was done. But over here, when you see that, the prices over here, they are mostly that converted into dollars, right? So the amount will be, so you will not be saving all those into the different currencies, because if you do that, so you won't be able to do any calculations in that scenario.
No, I mean, if we know the currency and the conversion rate, we can multiply those units, number of units with the conversion and get the price in dollars.
That will become difficult, no? Like you have in each row, you have a different currency. You have a different this currency. You will have to make. See, if you see over here, just a second. So if you will see in this currency, you have variety of currencies, right? You have 100 type of different currencies. So you will actually have to, what we'll do in that case is generally you will have a conversion table that will be loaded in that system if some that type of a thing is there. And when these tables are created, right, these tables are something where that that calculation will happen automatically over there. So basically, like when these prices that you will see, so they are more like standard prices. So let me try to show you that. What do I mean? See, if you will see over here, unit price is everywhere the same. Okay, the unit price is everywhere the same. If you will see this, and if you see this,
Currency
the
is different.
currency key, they are different. So it is just that currency key over here is just a representation that what's the currency of that particular the customer who is using. But over here you have the standardized unit prices. So they are all compared.
Okay, great. Cool. So basically in the fact internet table, we have all the keys and all the sales related data, and all the keys are linked from the other page in this.
All the data is flowing into that table over here. So what we do now in this is we come over here in the Power BI, the Power BI file that we open. So all this data that we're going to load, we are going to connect it to each other, so that if you want to see like what was the total sales in a different geography. I want to see what was the total sales in different, the state provinces and all. I want to see the total sales in different state provinces over here. So I should be able to do it, right? I will have to pick up the name of the state provinces from here, and the sales value will come from fact internet. Correct? Yes, making sense to all of you? So now what we do over here is we simply come in the Power BI, and we will connect our file to the Excel now. So I'll connect to the Excel. And in this Excel, what we'll do is so now this time around, what we will do is we will just load. Before you load the data, please, we need to make a small change. Please do not load the data. Click on cancel, and in the Power BI, please click on File, Options and Settings. Right? Click on File, Options and Settings, and click on Options. And in the data load, come into the data load over here and please uncheck one of the settings, auto detect new relationships. Because what will happen is that relationship otherwise Power BI will automatically create. We want to learn that and we want to see and make that manually.
Amit, can you please show it again?
So file, options and settings, and options. Right. So you will come data load over here. Data load.
Okay.
And uncheck this auto detect new relationships.
Okay.
Now what we do is we load that data. Customer venture works, we load all the sheets of that. Now we take on load. It will take a little while, just a couple of seconds. Done. Now the data is loaded. Okay. So here you can see all the tables now can be seen over here. Okay. So if right now, right, if you will try to make, if I try to ask you that you have to make a chart, that you have to show me that we would want to make a chart where we would like to see that on the basis of product category, right? For each product category, I would like to see what was the total sales that had happened. So how will you do that? So, you have the product category names, right? This is the names that are given to you. If you will right now try to make that chart, right? You bring that product category name and you bring the sales from the fact table, right? You bring the sales amount from that fact table over here. See, everywhere you are getting the same number. That in accessories also, this was the sales, bikes, this was the sale, clothing components. Everywhere you're getting the same number. And why is it happening is because right now there is no relationship between the tables. So Power BI is not able to understand that how much sales happen in accessories and how much sales happen in bikes. So it is giving total everywhere. Whatever is the total, it is giving everywhere the same number, right? Whatever was the total sales in that sales amount column, it has reflected that everywhere now. Correct? So how do we make the relationships is, so you have to come in the model view. This is where you will have to come now. Come into the model view where you will now see all the tables that we have loaded. So what we can do is, please come in this model relationship view and just zoom in so that you can see all the tables in one view, because tables will come here and there. So keep this fact table in the center and all the other tables around it. So now I have one. So I have brought all the tables over here. Let me just bring this as well. This and the product category like this. Just arrange all the tables and keep the fact table in the center. Right, so it will be easier to understand. And you can keep the product table and subcategory table and product category table near to each other. Okay, like this. Please arrange these tables. Done, everyone? Right, so now what we do is we just start making the relationships, and making the relationship is very, very easy. So I will start from that, the table of geography. In the geography table, right, you have a column of geography key. That is a primary key. Okay. Now the geography key is something with which column it can be connected in the fact table. In the fact table, if you will see, you will find the geography key in this also. They have not given this geography key in this. So customer key, currency key, PO number. Okay, they have not given that. So you actually have the customer key. So you pick up the customer key from this table, customer table, and drag and drop it on the customer key over here on this table. Okay, please do that. Drag the customer key from the customer table and drop it on the customer key in the fact table. So that way a relationship is created between the two tables. Are you able to make it? You will see this line coming up, connecting customer key and the geography key, customer key to customer key between customer table and the fact table. Okay. Now, if you see customer table and geography table, they are connected to each other by geography key. Geography key you have over here, and geography key is something that you have over here. So you can drag the geography key to geography key over here as well. So just make sure you drag it down, and you can see the geography key over here. So you pick up the geography key in this, and the geography key will come over here now. And if that connection becomes wrong, you can also delete that, right? Because in this case, I have made it wrong. So you can right click and delete. So what we do is we bring the geography key from here, and we just like this. So now you will see this relationship is created. Now in this relationship, right, Are you able to make it? Anusha, Harshad, Swadika, Rama, are you all able to make this? Okay. See, now when you're making these relationships, right, you will notice one is coming written over here and asterisk is written over here, right? Like asterisk over here. So what is this? So let's try to understand this over here. So when you create relationships, right? When you create relationships, now it's not a concept of Power BI, it's a more like a database concepts. So we have 4 type of relationships. One is called as one-to-one, one-to-many, many-to-one, and many-to-many. So these are the different type of relationships that you will find over here. Okay. So what is one-to-one relationship? One-to-one relationship means that, if I have a table, I have some ID and name with me, 1, 2, 3, and the names are given to me, E, B, and C. And in another table, I have ID and their, age. So 1, 2, 3, and age is suppose 21, 22, 23. So if you see these two tables right now, right? If you see these two tables over here, one ID has one name, one ID has one age. Right? So it is a one-to-one relationship. Okay, this is a one-to-one relationship because in both the tables, every ID is present once, and in the other table also it is present only once. That is called as one-to-one. If I have the information like this, ID and subject. So we are saying that the person whose ID is 1, he is studying R and Python, and the person whose ID is 2, he is studying R and Power BI and Python. The person whose ID is 3, he is also studying these 2 subjects. So if you see now this table and this table over here, how are these 2 tables connected? So if you will notice over here, they are connected on the basis of ID in this, right? Like one ID is connected to the multiple IDs in the second table, right? So one person is studying multiple subjects. So the person whose ID is 1, he is studying R and Python. The person whose ID is 2, his name is B, and he's studying R, Power BI, and Python. So this is more like a one-to-many relationship, right? This is a one-to-many relationship that we have. Okay, this is where here we have a one-to-many relationship because in table 1, every ID is present once, and in another table, the IDs are present multiple times. So this is called as one-to-many. And similarly, if you have this table and you have this table in which I have ID, address type, and the address. Okay. So if I say address ID, so if I have the ID is like 1, I have his 2 address types. One is temporary address and one is permanent address, right? Hostel, he lives in hostel and he lives in Jaipur, right? So this is what I'm saying. The person 2, he also has 2 addresses. One is hostel and one is Delhi, right? So if you see now, if you compare these 2 tables, this table to this table. So this is a many-to-many relationship, right? Because you have IDs present multiple times in the first table and the IDs present multiple times in the second table. So this is a many-to-many relationship. Yes, class? Main says this because ID is also present multiple times. In the second table also ID is present multiple times. So this will become a many-to-many relationship. Correct? Yep. Okay, so what happens with this type of relationships? Power BI is a smart tool and it is able to identify it automatically. If you see in the geography table, if you will notice, in the geography table, if you will open up, So in geography table, every geography key is coming only once, right? But when it comes to customer table, now many customers will be from the same geography. So that is why the geography key would be coming many times in the customer table. So that is why when the relationship is created between these two tables, it is saying in this call in this table that geography key is coming many times, whereas in the this table it is coming only once. That is what that one-to-many relationship means. So this is also one-to-many. This is also one-to-many. Okay. Now you can make these relationships from this also, right? Like you can drag and drop the things over here. You can click on the manage relationships and you can make the relationship from here also. So this is a window that will open up. You have to just click on manage relationships. Okay. So when you come on the manage relationship, you have to now, if you want to make a new, you will see the existing relationships that we have. Now, if you want to make a new relationship, you just click on new and this window will open up. So from here, what you can now do is you can make the other relationships. So let's try to see now which other relationship that I need to make. So what do you think? Which are the other relationships that I can make in these tables? How are the other relationships that we can, what are the other relationships that I can make? We can have a currency relationship, currency to currency in this, right? Like you have a currency key in this and you have a currency key in this also. So I can click on manage relationship. I will create a new relationship. So I pick up the fact table and then I pick up the currency table. See, it will automatically highlight what are the common columns between them. Right? It will automatically highlight the common columns between the two. And it tells you that this is a many to one relationship. See, one to many and many to one are just opposite of each other. So if in the first table you have the values coming as many times and in this it is once, it becomes many to one. If you interchange it, if you make this as a currency table and you make this as a fact table, this will become one to many. They're just opposite of each other. So it's the same thing, one to many, many to one. And then you click on OK and you close it. And now you will see a relationship will be created over here as well. Right? So other relationship that you think of, you can make.
Amit, what is the cross filter direction? Single or both?
This direction that you see, this is this arrow that you see.
Hmm.
This arrow is called as direction. Basically, data is flowing from this table to this table, but data cannot flow from this table to this table. Basically, if you will ask that, if you will see over here, the data will come from here and it will flow in the customer table. That is how you will be able to pull that information. But from here to here, you won't be able to do it.
Okay. So when we connected currency and fact internet, data can flow from currency to fact internet, but not the opposite. Okay.
Correct. Correct. Okay. So now what I do over here is, in this, the next thing that we have to do is, what are the other relations that we can see? So let me just clear this off. Now if you see over here, right? So in this fact table, now the relationships is left with the product tables and the hierarchies. So if you will see over here, we have the product key. So product key will be present in the product table, right? You will come in this product key, you will find it over here. So you have the product key, here it is. So this product key can be connected to this product key. right? So this relationship is created. Okay. Now every product belongs to a subcategory. So you will have the relationship between product table and subcategory table.
Should
So
it
let's
be the opposite?
opposite in what sense?
Okay, no, never mind. Sorry. Go ahead. Like product and fact internet. I thought that the relationship should be opposite, but it's correct.
Okay. See, basically, see why this relationship is like this. Try to understand. See, if you will see when you will make a report, what would you like to keep? Will you like to show product name or the product IDs? When you make a report that how much sales have happened
Name.
across product, will you keep product IDs or product names?
Names.
Names. So you are saying you will, and the names are given in this table, correct? In this
Yes.
you only have the IDs. So you will pick up the product names from here, and data flows from here to this table, and it finds out based on the product ID that what was the total sales amount. So it will show you the total sales for that each product. Okay.
So Amit, in this, we are going to perform all the operations on the fact table.
Correct. So all that calculations will happen on the fact table, and all those, the categorical information on which we break the data, that comes from the dimension tables, right? Like for
It's
example, you want
not
to
like
see,
SQL where we will use the joins and we'll pull everything from two tables, right?
no, nothing. You don't have to make joins. It's like something like it works like something like joins only, but little different from that. I mean, the idea behind the scene will be join. So it will be a join that Power BI will automatically create because there was a relationship on that. So it is technically making a join only. So it will say, okay, if we join these two tables on the product ID, now we connect it, and now which column do you want to see and what do you want to sum? So there's a like join and the grouping of the data that happens automatically behind the scenes.
Okay.
In join, we can use both the tables, right? Like to draw data from each other.
So that is the same thing can be done from here also.
Here also, we just need to select the direction as both.
Correct. Direction as both.
Okay.
So now how are product table and subcategory table connected? So that is based on the subcategory key, right? So you have a subcategory in this table. Where has it gone? This product subcategory key. So you will see product subcategory key is over here also. So these two tables are connected to each other on the basis of this. Okay. And you will notice this table to this table, there will be again be connected to each other based on the product category name or product category key. So you have a product category key.
Don't we have to use product category before subcategory to map?
No. So first you will have product, then you have subcategories, right? Like product categories like the electronics. Now electronics is the category. In that electronics category, you will have various subcategories, right? Like washing machines, microwaves, mobile phones. And in that subcategory, if you pick the mobile phones, you will have the products, right? Samsung mobile, your iPhone, your OnePlus phone. So you will get those products. So that is how the hierarchy goes.
Okay.
So now if you see complete relationship, the data model is created. Everyone, can you see this? Right now, once you have this, see now let's do one thing. Let's go back to the report view. You notice the chart has got updated and you actually see the correct sales values for each product category, because now it is Power BI is able to identify those relationships and it is able to figure out at how much sales happen across different categories.
Amit, could you go back to the model one once, please? Just want to see the relationship between. So product category is related to subcategory means product category information can go to subcategory table. And from that, can we, like if we are using the product table, can we get the product category also?
No, first make the relationship, right? Just first make the relationship, then we will come to that. So
Okay.
don't confuse yourself on that. Once you will make the relationship, then I'll show you that. So we will come on to that part.
Okay.
Amit, for product and subcategory, it is related in product subcategory.
Correct. Product subcategory key. Because for making the relationships, the key is only the data. So we should always, if we have any confusion, we should always go back to that data file and we can refer to it, right? If you will see the product data set, in the product data set, you will come over here, it will tell you that, you have the first set of product key, that is the primary key. You can see the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That means it is a unique column. And then this, they have given you the product subcategory keys, right? You have the product subcategories keys that are given to you. Okay. So if you will see over here that this is coming multiple times, then you can see and you can try to match it. Like what is 5? You go and you see in that subcategory. Okay, you see that 5 is the name of that subcategory is this bottom brackets. These are some brackets. So that is how we can try to find it. And now you see that each of the subcategory is belonging to some categories. So these are like, these first three, they belong to category 1. What is that category 1? Let's try to find out, right? You come over here and you say in this, the name, you will find it that, okay, it's some adjustable race, right? Something of that sort. So that is how you relate the information. Okay. So now once these relationships are created, right? Once you have made these relationships, now we will try to make some visualizations based on that. Like the first visualization that I have made over here is I was able to find out how much, the sales happened across the different categories that I can see in this. Now let's make a bar chart. Okay, so you have seen a lot of information in these different tables right now. So what I would like to do is let's try to see that I want to see uh, this, and yeah, if you will just try to take a look at it, right? This table that we have created. Do you all have this product category table with you? This product category table you have with you, right? All of this visual you all have created. So if you come in the relationship view over here, you will actually see how that information is flowing. So from which table did I pick the product category? From this table, right? So from this table, the data went into this table that, okay, for each product category, these are the different subcategories. And for each subcategory, these are the products. And for these products, what was the sale that was picked up from here? And that is how you got that sales across the category. You are seeing how the data is flowing across 4 tables, the data flew and then it came over here. Making sense? See, because this table, this is how the information has flown from here to here. If you now try to make a chart on the basis of different countries, right? How the sales happened across the different, regions that you have. So regions belong to customers. Every customer belong to a region, and every customer has purchased something. So data will flow from here to here and will show you the information. So now if you want to see that, let us try to see it over here. We'll come in the table view and let's make a chart, a bar chart. So from the geography table, what I'm doing is I will pick up the country. So these are the codes. So you should pick up the names, right? State, province names. You pick up the state, province name and put it on the axis. And then what you do is you pick up the sales from that fact table, sales amount. Here it is. You will pick up the sales amount and put it over here in the values. And you see the chart is created right away. So California got the highest sales, right? If you come down, you can see the sales across over here, across all the products, all the provinces. Yep. Are we all sorted on this? So I made a table of state, province name, and sales amount. From each region, how much sale had happened.
Amit, if we want to get count, just the count, like how we used to get in Tableau,
What count?
like how we used to get in Tableau, if we just want, let's say, jobs, like in the other sheet in the UK bank report, we had job classification, and then we needed the count of how many people were there. For
You can just so you should count from home.
this is you changing the sales, or while making the graph, what do you put?
So see, by default, what happens in the Tableau also is when you make in the chart in the Tableau, by default, it gives you the sum. If you want to change into a count, you can change the calculation to count. You want to count distinct, you want to find the minimum maximum, you can change the calculation from here.
But
So like,
the title will show sales amount, right? We just want the count, the title to be just count.
that you can change, right? So first, see, the titles can be changed. So you just have to rename the column name. In the formatting we told, I shown you, right? You can change the title. You can change the column names also if you want, right? If you think this that overhead is showing sales amount, that column can be renamed, right? You can just click over here and you say rename for this visual. So whatever name you will give, it will show that. If you want to show it as count, it will show the count. So if you change the calculation to count, so the name has also changed to count if you see, and you can change the calculation to count then.
Okay. Okay. Thanks.
Amit, I'm getting the error. Can I share my
What?
screen?
Yes, please.
So here the chart is not working for me.
You have drag state province. Can you go in the relationships view, please? Oh, okay. Can you hover on the product category? Sorry, geography table. Yeah, geography to customer table. Hover on the line. You will have to actually drag that the on this. I want to have.
Oh, oh,
No,
the
it's
key
correct.
is right.
So geography key to geography key, and now come to the fact internet table. The next one on the line. So this is wrong.
Oh, it's currency
Customer
key.
currency.
Okay.
Issue the table chart.
Okay, from this to this, right?
Customer to customer.
Okay,
Right now you will see the chart will be corrected out.
correct. Okay, thanks.
Amit, I have issue with the table chart.
Sure. You can share your screen. So yeah, again, so if you see this kind of problem, that means the relationship is a problem. So can you go over there in the relationship view? Okay. So now your problem is with these categories, right? Now take a look at this. Come on the product category and subcategory table. Check that relationship. Click on that line. Yeah. So category key to category key. Okay. Next one. Above subcategory to product. This is subcategory to subcategory key. Okay. Now come in that next one, product to fact table. So this is where you are going wrong, right? It's going with the promotion key. So this relationship is wrong. So it is product key to product key. So delete that. So if you will do it, if you delete it, now you have to make it between product key to product key. You can increase the size of the table a little bit.
Okay.
Right. See now what is the meaning of cross filter direction, or what is that flow that I was telling you? Let me try to explain you that. So for example, if I pick up in the customer table, right? In the customer table, if I come in the, if I make a table, now please don't do something, just watch for a moment. If I come in the customer table and I want to see, from the customer table, what I do is I pick up something like the customer name, right? I pick up his name. What is his first name? I pick up the first name and I pick up you know, the ID also of this customer. Let me pick up his ID also, customer key. This is the ID of that customer. See, there are so many customers, right? You can see there are so many customers that we have. That customer key, and I can see the customer names over here. So there are a lot of add-ons. So if you want to check that out, you can also do that from here, right? So if you will come in this, let me sort this data by customer key. So we have 11. So it's customer key starting from 11,000. Let me just take a look in the Excel also. If you will take a look, see customer key starting from 11,000 and up till this the number is going. So we have like how many customers? We have 18,484 customers in the data set, right? 483, these many customers we have in this data set with us. Now, what you will notice is like each customer belongs to one geography. One customer can belong to only one region. So like if you want to talk about customer 11,000, right? His name is Aaron. No, his name is John. So if you would have seen that when I was picking some name over here, like right Aaron, there are a lot of Aarons in the data set, right? So these are the different Aarons that we have. These are who are from different locations. Now I want to see that what is the location from which these customers belong, right? From which location does John belongs? From which region does Eugene belongs? So what I do now is, okay. So what I do now over here is I'll go in this table over here, and what we will do is in the geography table, yeah, in the geography table, what we do is we try to pick up the country, region, or the state province name. I put that state province name over here. Okay. So pick that up and put that state province name over there. Okay. Now what I do is let's remove the customer key. Right. See now what happens is when you remove that, so this is actually not the Best chart also. What should I do is Hmm, this is because the relationship is there, you will be able to find it still. I'm just trying to, show you some chart where you can understand this relationship view quickly. So subcategory name, the product. Okay. Let me make a table over here. Just give me 1 minute. I'm just trying to show you something. So in this product category, and then we pick its uh, actually the data is right now such that I can't show you that cross filter direction. If suppose I'm trying to tell you now, suppose the data was such, right? Let me give an example of that, and I'll show you that with the another Excel file. If the data was such, right? Suppose all the customers were from multiple regions, right? Suppose customer one had done the shopping from country A also, country B also, and country C also. Okay, if the data was at that level, and you wanted to make the relationships between these two tables, so the date you wouldn't have been able to count it that from how many locations the customer had done his shopping, because right now that relationship that you have, it is one to one many that you have, so you are able to find it out because one and many over here, so that geography code is coming over here many multiple times. So that is why I can't show you that calculation, but that cross filter direction, so I'll show you that with another example, right? So I'll bring that in the Excel file with which the data will be little in that way where the opposite relation would also be making some sense. Getting it? So
That will
like what?
become many to many, right? That
No,
multiple geographies for multiple customers. So like one customer is shopping from different locations. That means multiple geography.
no. So it is not. It doesn't make that multiple in that context. So I'll show you that. I'll show because let me see if I have that file in which I have already done that. Just give me a moment. Okay. So I'll show you this. Okay. So, this is on a similar lines. We have a customer table where customer table is connected to the on the basis of customer ID. Okay. The product table is connected on the basis of product name. This is, no, not product name, product ID. And this is postal code to postal code. And what I have is segment ID to segment. Now this is the same orders data on which this model is created. Okay. So now what I'm trying to tell you over here is, okay. Now what I do is the data is flowing from this table to this table. So what I do now in this case is that suppose see, now you have the data in this. So what I'll do now is, so from the main data, right? So what I do from the main data is, let me pick up, let me make a table. And I am going to pick from the main data. I'll just tell you what I've done. From the main data, what I'm doing is, I am picking the ship mode. Okay. So from the main data, shipping mode is coming. And now I want to see how many customers did the shopping for the different, the classes over here, for the different modes over here. So from the customer table, what I did was I picked up the customer ID and I put it over here and I change it to count. Right? If you see now, what I've done is, you will take a look at this. Shipping mode was in this table and customer ID was in this table, correct? So shipping mode I want picked up from here, and I wanted to see that for each shipping mode, how many customers did their shopping. So that means the data has to go from here and it will find the customer IDs. I'm counting the customer IDs for that. And these two tables are connected by customer ID in this, right? See, you will notice that it is giving me the same number everywhere, 793. And the reason for that is because the data is flowing from customer table to this table, right? If you will see the real, if I would have picked up that customer ID from this table only, from that main data table only. So if I'll show you this, if I pick that from here only and I remove the other one and let's change it to count, you will actually see a correct count that these many customers did the shopping from first class, these many customers for the same day, these many for the second class, and likewise, because it is coming from the same table. But if I want to bring the customer ID, count of customer ID from this table, and I want to change it into count, over here, I will have to make this, the direction both. The direction will have to be in the both ways. So this cross filter direction will be both. So if I click on OK now, you will see the arrow will change. It will show the data can flow in both the directions. And if you will now come to this, you will see it's giving you that count over here. Right? So these many customers did the shopping from first class, same day, second class, and standard class. Now it is coming the different counts. Now it is not the same total over here. I mean, no, the 793 is not same everywhere. Getting it? Now, because the data is able to communicate back and forth in any direction. So if you bring this customer ID from this table also, if you bring over here, if you want to cross-validate that thing, change it to count, but make sure you use count distinct. See, you get the same number, whether you get the customer ID from table 1 or table 2. That is all happening because there is a flow of data in both the directions. If it is one way, data can come from here to here, but it cannot go from here to here. Okay, class? Hello? Sorry.
Yeah, we got it, but it's like a bit confusing. Maybe after doing some practice.
See, you know, we actually have to take a look at the data also for that. So like, for example, if I show you, this was the customer table in which I have just kept the customer ID and the customer name. And if you come to the main data, I have the customer ID with me, right? And I was having the shipping mode with me, right? I had a
Yes.
column of ship mode. So I was saying that, okay, this customer has done the shopping for this mode. This customer has done the shopping from using this shipping mode. So we have that shipping modes over here. When I'm using the same table, it's very straightforward, right? That for each ship mode, how many customers, which customer picked what type of a shipping mode. I could have done the count using this customer ID. But then I saw that, you know, customer ID is in the another table also. That is this table. Why shall I not pick up that customer ID from there? Right? So I thought, let me pick the customer ID from there. But when I picked it up, the count was not coming correct. The reason was because the data can flow from this table to this table. So shipping mode was not able to communicate back that the customer ID that you have in this, what's that customer ID in the other table? It was not able to communicate back. So that is why I made that relationship both ways. Now shipping mode, it compared that customer ID and it said, okay, this customer ID is the same, this customer ID. So it is counting that up. So it is counting that customer ID from this table now. So that is how it was able to give that count.
One question. If ship mode was also a column in the, to go back to the model there. If in the customer table, we also had a column named as ship mode. So that would mean ship mode data can also flow into main data. And if it was unidirectional, that means flowing from customer table to main data only.
Yeah.
Then it wouldn't have given an error, right?
No, it would no. So you would have picked up the ship mode from here and count of customer ID from here. It would have given you the correct output.
Because ship mode is not present in the customer table, that's why ship mode from main data has to go into the customer table and then get the customer ID count. That's why we did the double direction.
Double direction. Yes. Okay. Suppose, you know, in this customer table, we also had a column of gender, right? For each customer ID, the gender was also given to you. And you wanted to see that for each shipping mode, how many males did what type of transactions, how many females did how many number of transactions. Again, you would have required the cross filter direction in that case. Okay. Okay, everyone. So, you know, now this is where I think we'll take a pause. So this file, right, that we have just made these relationships. Now your task over here is you all have to, you know, try to make a report on this, right? What are the different analyses that you can come up based on your understanding? You have to make a good looking report over here that you have to present. Okay. So like you made that the UK bank customers. Similarly, what we'll do now is we will move a step ahead. I mean, in tomorrow's session, we will be starting off with the tax functions. Okay, everyone. So see you tomorrow then at the same time. Thank you. Thanks, Radhika. Thanks, Ashir. Thanks, Anusha. Grandma. Okay. So see you guys tomorrow. Right. So please make some charts on that, and then we'll start the things ahead as well tomorrow.